doing, everybody? Welcome to my rankings of the MCU Infinity Saga. 23 motherfucking movies. First off, spoilers, right? So be aware, there are spoilers for all 23 movies. So if you haven't seen any of them, get the fuck out of here! Let's go! This is just my opinion, this is my list. Your list is going to look very different than mine. Might be close, might be similar. You rank it however you want to. Your opinion, this is my list. Go get your own goddamn list! This is my list! Second off, I don't think there's a single bad MCU movie. There are some that are weaker. They're all consistently pretty damn good in my opinion. Some of them definitely, like I just said, weaker than others. Let's go through the list. Maybe yours will be close to mine. Maybe it won't. Have a watch. Take a look. Come along in this amazing adventure with me. Go get your own goddamn list. This is my list. We're good. We're good. Alright, let's jump into this. Alright. I apologize if I just curse too much. It's just I'm so excited to get into these reviews with you. I can't fucking help it, you know what I mean? So anyway, let's get started. Number 23. In the last place we have, you guessed it, Thor: The Dark World. You know, it's not a terrible movie, but it's not that great either. Got some boring spots in it. Overall, the humor's not very great. The action is so-so. Not a terrible movie, but definitely the bottom of the list when it comes to the MCU Infinity Saga. Let's be honest, it's the weakest one. You know it. I know it. Even Thor himself knows it. Come on, let's be honest here. Not that great of a movie. Alright, that brings us to number 22. And that will be... You got it. The first Thor movie. Now, it's not a bad movie. It's still pretty good. But for me, it's on the lower end of the lower end of the MCU. I feel like they're still trying to find their footing. It's a good start. Still not one of the top ones. I know for some people they put it up there, but for me, it's definitely in the lower end. Thor's supporting characters were always annoying to me. So we had Loki, he was a better part. Anthony Hopkins was great in it. You have Rene Russo. As we got to see Asgard for the first time, which is pretty cool. Overall, you know, nothing spectacular. Kind of just a mid-range movie. That's why for me, it's at the bottom, near the bottom of the list. Number 21. We have, you all know what it is. Come on now, The Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk. Number 21. And now you know, at the time when I first saw this movie, I actually thought it was really fucking cool and really good. I thought the end with Robert Downey Jr. was awesome. I thought the end fight with the Hulk and Abomination was great. Watched it again recently. Doesn't hold up that well. Not after what we got. The MCU was still trying to kind of find their way, and you know, they just got better and better. I think one of the things that kind of bugs me about this movie is the fact that it's Edward Norton. Nothing against Edward Norton, he did fine, but what bugs me is it starts out with Edward Norton and then changes to Mark Ruffalo. CGI's not so great. Still isn't doing a whole lot. Not a lot to it. Still not a bad movie. Way better than that piece of shit Ang Lee's movie. Right now it's going to be 21. Number 20. Iron Man 2. I know a lot of people, a lot of fans of Iron Man, the MCU, they kind of don't like this movie at all. Like I said, there's not a bad movie on this list, but it is on the lower end. I happen to actually think it's pretty decent. I like it. Not amazing, but it has some pretty awesome parts to it. The end fight with War Machine is actually pretty good. I think that's a really cool fight there. Now the movie spends a lot of time going over and setting up for the Avengers, and at the time that was a big deal. I didn't think it was a good idea to do a team-based movie, but boy, what the fuck do I know? I was wrong. Yeah, the movie has some really cool stuff, but overall it is on the lower end, and I can see why people don't like it. I still like it. I still think it's pretty good. Robert Downey is the man. Yeah, pretty good. Not great. Move on. Number 19, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay, this movie, it's a pretty fun movie. It's pretty good. Still doesn't quite crack that top 10, but it's pretty good. Not as good as the first one, in my opinion. The first one was a little bit better for sure. This one, the villain is okay. Decent villain. The humor is pretty good. There's some pretty good humor in it. Paul Rudd is awesome. He's always funny. He's always great. The Wasp is pretty cool. Has some pretty good fight scenes. Actually, she has better fight scenes than Ant-Man does in the movie, to be quite honest. Pretty good movie, though. Not too bad. Michael Douglas is great. He's got some good shit in there. Some good stuff. Michael Pena, right? He's the man. Everybody knows that. Really, the best part of this movie for me, though, of time, is the post-credit scene when everybody just turns to dust. That was the best part of the movie. That was awesome. Loved it. Move on. Number 18. Captain America, the First Avenger. Now this movie, was pretty good. I thought it was pretty cheesy. There's some cheesy stuff in it, but it's kind of like a good cheese. It's one of them top choice cheeses, right? Cheese. It's pretty good though. Chris Evans is Haley Atwell is really hot. Chris Evans is the man though. He's cool. So it's a pretty good movie. Stanley Tucci's in it. He's the tits, right? Nobody can beat Stanley. Stan the man, Tucci. I just like saying his name. I'm sorry. Anyway, the movie's fun. It's kind of like an Indiana Jones type of movie almost. Things that I wasn't too fond of was how it kind of rushes through the battle scenes, and I would have liked to have seen more of that. Special effects don't hold up. I just watched the movie recently. I rewatched it not too long ago, and the special effects kind of don't hold up. The end scene with the car when he's chasing the plane to get on it. Man, that's really bad. I'm actually really surprised how bad it looks. But my favorite part of the movie is the end. I love the end when he crashes into the ice and wakes up in our time. That's a really awesome part. That's the best part of the movie by far. Pretty good movie. It's definitely near the lower end, not the top 10 yet. Getting there. Number 17, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's right. This movie was really funny. It had a lot of jokes in it. Almost too many jokes. They turned every single scene into a joke. Even the serious moments were a joke. But it was really funny, entertaining movies. That's why it's a little higher than the other movies. Kurt Russell is the man. He's the fucking man. He's always the man. At one point it turns into the Thing and fucking swallows Chris Pratt whole. It's the greatest thing we've ever seen. And I wish it was in the movie, but it wasn't in the movie. It was a really funny movie, a good movie. Drax is the man. Star-Lord, awesome. Ego was an interesting villain. It was kind of weird how they did it. Yondu, he was awesome. I mean, Mary Poppins thing was huge after that. It had some really good stuff in it. definitely not as good as the first movie. Fun movie, entertaining. Let's keep going up the list. We're almost in the top 15 right now. Number 16. We got Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. Yeah, so this one of my favorite parts about it was the soundtrack. I'm a 90s kid, so all the 90s music was good. It was nice hearing some Nirvana, stuff like that. Yeah, so the soundtrack is what kind of made it for me, along with some of the humor. Ben Mendelsohn as a Skrull, he was great. He was probably the best character in the movie, to be honest with you. I liked him more than Captain Marvel himself. But yeah, the movie wasn't too bad. It wasn't in the top 10, not one of the top movies, but it was pretty good. Really liked the soundtrack, and I really liked the Skrulls. Jude Law was alright, he had some good parts in it. Sam Jackson as Nick Fury was great in this movie. Nick Fury was probably better in this movie than he was in a lot of the others, to be honest. He had a lot to do. The buddy cop dynamic was awesome. And of course the cat. The cat was a highlight. The cat was fucking awesome. Kind of lame how his fucking cat scratched Nick Fury's eye. That was a little stupid, but the cat was pretty goddamn awesome. Brie Larson was fine, did a fine job. Fine job. The end part when she discovers her powers is definitely by far the highlight of the movie for her, for sure. Pretty good movie though, pretty good. Looking forward to the sequel. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it just gets better and better from here. Let's keep going up the list. We're almost at 15 people. Let's move it on over. Number 15. Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man. Ant-Man was pretty good. It was a fun little heist movie. Got to introduce a bunch of new characters. Michael Douglas and Angeline Lilly. Hope I got that right. Michael Pena, he was great in it. It was a fun movie, man. I really liked it. It was good. Baskin Robbins always finds out. Yeah, it's definitely a fun movie. Better than I thought it was going to be honest. Ant-Man is one of those bottom-tier Marvel characters for me. I don't really give a shit about him. He's kind of stupid. Turns into a little ant. I mean, really, Ant-Man, but they made it good. They usually do. They do it. Villain was okay. He was a little annoying, but it worked. Moved pretty quickly. It wasn't really long. Not a really long, drawn-out movie. Overall, it was good. Cracks the number 15 spot. Let's keep this son of a bitch moving. Number 14. Alright, we got Iron Man 3. I know a lot of people kind of despise this movie. Everybody gets mad about the Mandarin twist. I don't really mind it. I thought this movie was pretty good, hence why it's number 14 for me. I thought it was very different for an MCU movie. Focused on Tony Stark rather than him being in the suit the whole time, which I thought was really cool. He had to be innovative and creative on his own. I thought a lot of humor. The humor was great. The jokes really landed for me. I thought it was an awesome movie. I like the end. The end scene was awesome with all the different Iron Man suits coming into battle. I thought that was great. The whole thing with Pepper Potts was a little stupid. I didn't really get into that very much. That was kind of lame, to be honest. Her saving the day and everything was kind of corny. The whole extremist thing was kind of stupid. Guy Pearce played the villain. He turned out to be the real Mandarin, and he kind of sucked. I thought Ben Kingsley would have been way better, but I didn't mind the twist. I just thought he was a little annoying as a character. The movie was still pretty awesome. I placed it at number 14. Let's keep going up. Number 13, Black Panther. Yeah, baby. Doesn't quite make the top 10 for me. I think, in my opinion, it seems to be a little overrated just by the critic reviews, fan reviews. They place it really high up there for me. It's not the greatest MCU movie. A lot of people put it in their top list. And that's fine, I don't care, it doesn't matter to me. For me though, it's number 12. It is pretty good. This movie could have been way better though, if it wasn't for that final battle. I really don't like the final battle. I think the CGI is awful, in my opinion. The Rhino, just the train scene with Killmonger and Black Panther falling and fighting in that crappy looking train scene, that whole fight, I did not dig it. If that were better, this movie could have been way higher on the list, because the first couple acts are really good. The acting's great. Killmonger is a fantastic villain, awesome villain. It's good to see Andy Serkis in there. He's awesome. He's not in very long. Chadwick Boseman, he's awesome and he's great. Denai Guru is great. Like I said, the movie is pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked it even more if it had not been for that final fight. Just wasn't a fan of it. I placed it at number 13. Let's keep going here. Let's go. Number 12. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting near the top, people. Number 12 is Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, this movie is pretty fucking good, right? I like it. The Vulture is an amazing villain. He's one of the best villains. Michael Keaton is the fucking man. He was Batman, so he's awesome. Michael Keaton, I'm a big fan of his. The movie is pretty sweet. I like the lightheartedness of it. Tom Holland is an awesome Spider-Man. He was great. Really good at doing both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. He has the great balance. He can do it both. The action is the part that kind of lacks for me. Not a whole lot of Spider-Man action. He doesn't really even fight the Vulture. If you go back and watch, he doesn't even lay a hand on him. That's a little disappointing to me, because when I think of Spider-Man action, I go back to Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock versus Spider-Man on the train. Just the whole movie just kills it. So this movie doesn't touch that for me. It's really not anywhere near that, but it's still a really good MCU movie. A lot of fun things about it. I placed it at number 12. Let's keep going here. Go. Alright, people. Getting close to that top 10. Number 11. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It improves upon the first one in almost every way possible. Everything is just so much better here. It's not even funny. Although I could laugh. At the time when I saw that, I really thought Nick Fury was dead. I genuinely thought he was dead. I'm glad he wasn't, but that was an awesome twist at the time. It's weird, it kind of changes genres during the movie though. It turns to a horror movie. They have this zombie in it, but for some reason he can talk and function fully like a human. Robert Redford, I'm kidding. He was great in it. He was really good. It was good to see him. He was a good villain. I enjoyed that. Yeah, this movie was all around awesome. It was a great step in the right direction for Cap. The Russo brothers, their first movie joining the MCU, we all know how great they are. They killed it with this movie. Really put Cap on the map. He became one of my favorites after this movie. I wasn't a huge fan of him in the first Avenger and the first Avengers movie, but this one, it was badass. You had the elevator scene. Lots of good stuff in this movie. Lots of good stuff. Really good. Doesn't quite hit the 10 for me. I know a lot of people put that really high up there, but for me, it comfortably sits at number 11. Let's go. Alright guys, now we can get into the meat, the real good shit of the MCU. The top 10. I personally love the ensemble movies. I can't get enough of the team-based movies. I love it when all the heroes are together in one movie. I eat that shit up. I know the story wasn't amazing here. It was more like Day of Ultron instead of Age. But I still really just enjoyed the movie a lot. And I think it became better over time. Especially because of what kind of ramifications the movie had. The movie left kind of a big impact. But I was just thoroughly entertained by it. It had great humor, great action. I love James Spader as Ultron. It introduced us to Vision, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. It had some really good stuff in here. I don't really care what anybody says. I enjoyed it, and it cracks the number 10 spot. Number 9, Doctor Strange. Now I know this movie is kind of mixed amongst the MCU fans, but when I first saw it, I really loved it. I really thought it was just a really good movie. It was fun. It had a lot of funny parts in it. I thought it was hilarious at times. I liked it. I know a lot of people compare it to the first Iron Man, and I guess it kind of is like Iron Man. It's a good origin story. I really enjoyed it. It had some really good stuff in there. Rachel McAdams was great. Obviously, Benedict Cumberbatch. He's awesome. He's great. I like the special effects. I like how it was. It tried to be a little trippy, but not too trippy, I thought. Mcu was not really in it too much. But when he was, that part was amazing. I mean, the end part was hilarious. It was cool. It was clever. Really like this one. Doctor Strange just keeps getting better and better, though. Cannot wait for his sequel. Hopefully it just blows us out of the water. We'll see. Doctor Strange, number 9. Loved it. Alright, people. Number 8. Guardians of the Galaxy! Guardians of the Galaxy. Man, when I first saw this movie, it blew me away. I couldn't believe how good it was. Because, well, let's be honest, we never heard of these characters. They're relatively unknown Marvel characters. I didn't give a shit about seeing a movie about no-name Marvel characters. I had no interest until the trailer dropped. I was intrigued, and then I saw the movie, and I couldn't believe how good it was. It was hilarious. It was so fun, so colorful. Soundtrack was amazing. It was just a really fun movie. Everybody killed it. The whole cast was great. James Gunn did a great job directing it. Obviously Chris Pratt and Dave Bautista. Awesome. Dave Bautista, for one, I thought he was a horrible choice to play in the movie because he's a wrestler and he usually sucks. I mean, The Rock is an exception. He's pretty good. But, man, Bautista, he does a great job playing a dumbass, right? Awesome movie. I love this movie. I can't say enough good things about it. Really don't have any really bad things to say about this movie. That's why it's number 8. Loved it. Loved it. Number 7. What's 7? Number 7. Iron Man. Bitch. Iron Man. Iron Man changed everything. Let's be honest. It started it all. It was an awesome movie. It was amazing. Robert Downey Jr. killed it. He was the man. Jon Favreau directed it. The movie just turned out great. It still holds up if you watch it. It's still a really good movie. Really, I can't really say anything bad about the movie. I just love this movie. So many good scenes. Love the cave scene when he's building his suit. That's a real hard-on moment right there, man. Anybody fucking loves that scene. Freaking Jeff Lebowski, he was awesome in it. The dude. I mean, Tony Stark built this in a cave! Tony Stark built this in a cave! mean, you have that, you got everything, man. Actually, the one negative thing about it, it's not really a negative, it's just my little nitpick on casting changes. It kind of takes me out of it a little bit when the actor just suddenly changes in the next movie, like I had mentioned earlier about Edward Norton, and then all of a sudden it's Mark Ruffalo. It just bugs me that it's supposed to be connected when it's clearly someone else. So the Terrence Howard change to Don Cheadle, that was a little jarring. I know it's nothing they could do about it, but that's just the one thing, if it's even considered negative, that I would say about the movie. Other than that, awesome, has an iconic ending. It kicked off everything, so it's number 7. All right, now we're really getting down to it, man. These next 6 were really hard for me to call. They're all so close together here. I mean, barely anything separates them. These are the best MCU movies right here. Number 6, people. Here it is. Now, Spider-Man, Far From Home. Alright, this movie I thought was a huge improvement upon the first one. I thought it was, again, it was better in almost every way. The action was 10 times better. Even but Mysterio, you know, with the illusions that he projected, were ripped straight out of the comic book, and I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Really great movie. The swinging was amazing. MJ was a lot better this time around. I'm really starting to get more into the character. Let's see, the one gripe that I would have, it's not really so much the gripe, is that he's not in New York City very much, and my Spider-Man, he should be in New York a lot more. So hopefully the next one, well, if there's a fucking next one, I don't want to get started on that right now. It's going to be a separate thing. Sons of bitches. If there's a next one, I'd like it to be in New York City, and that's what it looks like it was going. It had an awesome cliffhanger ending. J.K. Simmons back was awesome. The scroll reveal was great. This movie had a lot going for it. I really enjoyed it. I was so pleasantly surprised. I liked Homecoming, but it wasn't one of my absolute favorites. It was in the middle of the list. And I really loved it. And I could easily put this in the top 5, but it's too hard to call, so it makes number 6, but I could see it easily being in my top 5, somebody else's top 5. If somebody told me they had it in their top list, I wouldn't argue it. I can see it. Great movie. I fucking loved it. Number 5, people. Number 5. Go! Thor Ragnarok, baby. Woo! Yeah, this movie was so good. It's one of my favorite comedies, probably in the past 5 years, let alone superhero movies. It's hysterical. When I first saw it, I would think I was literally crying, laughing. It was just so funny. The Hulk, this is one of the Hulk's best showings in the MCU, in my opinion. He's great in it. Thor is hilarious. This is when I finally started to like Thor. I didn't really care too much for his character. This movie put him on the map. He's awesome after this movie. It had everything. Great sci-fi, space adventure. It was hilarious. Awesome special effects. Great fight scenes. Jeff fucking Goldblum. He's the man. The movie is so good. It's so fucking awesome. I could easily see this being number 1 on people's lists, and I wouldn't even bat an eye. I wouldn't be, what the fuck you talking about? Number 1. No, I get it. It's that good. I love this movie. It has that rewatchability factor. You can just keep rewatching it over and over again. Such a good movie. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's one of MCU's best offerings. It's number 5. These movies, top 5, man. They're so good. They're so fucking good. Alright, here we go. Here's number 4. You got it. Captain America Civil War. It is so good. Oh my god. This movie has it all. It has the drama. It has the action. It has a little bit of romance. Just a little tiny bit. A little sprinkle of it. But now it's kind of gross, if you know what I mean, right? Think about it. This movie is fucking awesome. The acting is so solid in it. They introduced Spider-Man, for fuck's sake, which was an awesome scene. They introduced Spider-Man. Black Panther was awesome in this movie. The only issue I have with it is I can't decide which fight I like better. The airport scene or the end fight, the triple threat. Iron Man, Cap, and Winter Soldier. Ah, man, those fights, unbelievable. So much emotional weight to them. They're just so good. So fucking good. I still contest Iron Man actually had that fight won. Iron Man had Captain America beat. If it wasn't for Bucky grabbing his leg, Cap would be fucking toast, but that's just me, right? That's how I see it. Man, the movie was just so good. Almost a flawless movie. I can't really think of anything bad to say about it. Again, it's a team-based movie, an ensemble movie, my favorite kind of superhero movie. One other actual issue, it's a nitpick, it's not really negative, is that the title of the movie should have been Marvel Civil War or Avengers Civil War. Let's be real here, it's not really a Captain America movie. It's not. Come on now. Which is fine. It's not a negative thing. It's still an awesome movie. Highly, highly recommend it. Loved it. It's number 4, which pains me. It's so hard to choose these next movies, but it's number 4. Oh boy! 3 more to go. 3 more to go. All right, number 3. Right in your face. 3. Avengers Endgame. Now, I know a lot of people probably put this as their number 1. I couldn't quite push it there to number 1. It lands at number 3, which, I mean, come on, it's number 3 out of 23 movies. That's pretty fucking good. This movie, it had a lot to it, man. It was amazing. The acting, top-notch acting, all around. Really good stuff. The action was amazing when it got to it. It didn't really kick in until, the 3rd act, almost the last hour or so. But when it kicked in, holy shit, it was off the fucking wall. It was awesome. One of my favorite scenes in all the MCU was probably Captain America wielding Mjolnir. That's right. And, I'm Team Iron Man, but that's probably one of my favorite scenes now. Amazing. Blah, 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 blah. That end scene, fucking snap. That was good. I couldn't quite put this movie at number 1. It's really long, and every time I watch it, it's emotionally draining for me. I'm not afraid to admit this. When I've seen the movie, every time I watch it, I have to choke down on fucking tears like I'm pushing somebody's head underwater. It's hard to do, man. It's an emotional movie, and it hits me. It's emotional. It's emotionally draining. I can't put myself through it every single time. I've only seen it about 4 times. It doesn't have that rewatchability factor like my first 2 are going to have. It's still an awesome movie. That's why it's number 3. It's amazing. It's really good. Just that emotional weight is kind of a positive and a negative. It's what makes it really good, but it's also what's keeping it from being the best one. It was still quite the experience to see an IMAX, man, with a packed house. It was something. It's still really awesome. I'm glad it's the number 1 movie of all time. As far as the box office goes, it totally deserves it. Guys, 2 more left. Let's keep going. Number 2. Avengers Infinity War. I mean, come on, this movie was fucking awesome. It had it all. It was a little tighter than Endgame. I know I had a hard time choosing between Endgame and Infinity War because for me, they're really close together. It's really all one movie. If you watch it together, it's all one movie. I really wanted to call it a tie and have them in one spot, but I think that'd be kind of a cop-out and kind of, I don't know, I didn't want to be a pussy, so I decided to decide which one was better. I think Infinity War has a slight edge. I like the team-ups more on that one. I think it's a tighter movie. There's more action. It feels more dread. It's The Empire Strikes Back. So many good things in this movie. The battle on Titan, the battle on Wakanda. Thor making his grand entrance with Stormbreaker was fucking awesome. It just gets me every time. It's amazing. This movie's got it all, guys. It's freaking awesome. I like that it's kind of a downer movie. I like that Thanos wins in the end. It's a great movie, man. It's really good. I have a hard time choosing between these three here, but I had to give the edge to Infinity War. I mean, that ending, everybody's been talking about it. Still talk about that ending, even though Endgame came out. Awesome movie. Just a great movie. Gotta give it to Infinity War, number 2. Alright, guys. Here comes number 1. I think you all know what it is at this point. But let's talk about it anyway. Let's go over it. Number 1. Number 1, baby. The first Avengers movie. Oh, God. When I first saw this in theaters, dude, I was blown away. It was fucking awesome. The action was so great. The humor was great. And it's never been done. So yes, I'm choosing this as number 1. Maybe I might be a little biased. Going into nostalgia is kicking in, baby. This movie had it all. I can't not put this at number 1. It started everything. I never thought that a movie like this could ever work. I thought it'd be too cheesy and it'd be too many characters. But I was fucking wrong. This movie is awesome. I easily put it at number 1. I don't think it will be topped, to be honest. It just holds a special place in my heart. It still holds up. It is my favorite MCU movie, The Avengers. Thanks for tuning in. Please like the video, please. And subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. And I'll catch you fucking next time.